welcome back to Judging Bouncing Balls. How you doing, Toby?
We're great. We're great. Another beautiful day out there. No rain. It's kind of
Beautiful.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a change.
All it does. We had that beautiful, like, no snow winter, warm spring, and then, or whatever, and then now it's just rain.
Unbelievable. If you're not living, for those of our international followers that tune into the show, it has been raining like we live in England right now. So those of you living over there will get that. It has been a lot of rain. I swear every game that we've had every Tuesday and Thursday has been a rain. We have so much rain. My pool, I haven't even opened it yet. And it's like flooding. So yeah, lots of rain.
Is there a lot of work to opening a pool? Seems like a lot.
Not as bad as you think. It's just time consuming, in my opinion. I mean, it's not. I learned how to do it when we first bought the place, and it's not too bad. But I mean, like, I got to add some salt to it because we do a salt pool. I gotta get all the lines blown out and get everything flowing. Get the shock everything to kill everything. You get it back to normal pool water because right now it's gonna look like a lake in there. It's gonna have some nice algae and some nice growth. Gonna be good.
Well, the nice thing about having a lot of kids, they probably help with all of it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because nobody helped my mulch. Nobody helped me weed.
Really?
Nobody helped anything. Yeah. I was very surprised.
I always have something to do.
The mulch in front of my daughter's garage door where she parks her car. I'm like, I'm going to put 7 yards of mulch here, and I think if you want to use your car, it'd be best to the getting, right?
Right.
Nope. She just informed me that I need to get out there so she can get a car out. That was fantastic.
That sounds very like my household.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. We're not alone. Not alone.
Though I will say, credit to my son tonight, my oldest. Amazingly, he wants to have some people over, and so magically he's like vacuuming, picking things up. I mean, I've never seen this kid clean so well in his life. The place is looking great. So yeah, I mean, apparently we need to have people over more often, and they just clean for us.
Macy does the same thing. She'll be like, Dad, we're gonna have people over Saturday night, and she is like washing the baseboards, and I'm like, so for our family, you can't do that. You're gonna do it for your friends?
No,
but I'm like, I'm with you. I like it.
It is good. So I'm fully in support of it. Let's have more people over.
Yeah. It's been a couple weeks, right, since we discussed last. Busy couple weeks. Pickleball update. We did our pickleball banquet 2 Sundays ago. Success again. We had enough money.
You did a roast, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It was
like a Tom Brady style.
Yeah, not as aggressive.
That's good.
Because which is for the better. But we had enough money in the kitty, which I didn't know. We had tenderloins, lobster tails.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. Wow. It was really good. We burned up the whole kitty. But then we got to award banquet, and I was able to MC. I did have a fellow pickleballer help me out, Mr. Andy Bach from Pulaski, the gym teacher out there. So he's a big fan of the conversation, so that was great. So that was a big success. We went to that Nate Bargatze at the Resch Center, the comedian.
You did?
I did.
I love Nate Bargatze.
I'll be honest. Like, I think he's like, I just get him on the TikTok, right? So we bought tickets months ago, and I kind of forgot about it. And I haven't laughed that hard for that long in a long time. He was great.
He's awesome. I think he's hilarious. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and there's no like swearing, and you don't need it. I mean, he had 4 guys go in front of him that were like 10 minutes each. And you want to talk about moneymaker, right? You have all these bands that are out there in concerts, and they got these lavish stages and fireworks and all this. It was a square stage in the middle of the Resch Center, surrounded by thousands of people, and he just walked in a slow circle and cracked jokes. It was great.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know you were going to see him. Yeah.
I forgot all about it. It was reasonable. I think $60 a ticket. Worth every penny.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
Yeah, me too. press that we thought about. Well, we didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. Some friends of ours said, "Would you like to go? Give us the money and we'll take care of it." That's the only way this works. Because if I had to buy tickets, I'd have been like, 60? Really? Come on. Is he that funny? But I'm very happy I went.
Well, good. Hey, I'm going to have you tell a little bit more about that. I'm going to drop off real quick because I got an issue, and I'm going to be right back on. So you just talk about that pickleball, maybe a fun story. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's an issue over here. I got to solve it. I got to leave to do it.
No.
Yep.
I'll take this thing solo, a cappella. Okay, as Jeremy left, we could talk about him poorly. But the other pickleball update blew my back out. I went down to our soccer tournament, and I shouldn't even say this because there might be a workman's comp issue. Went with Shields to Sam's Club and hurt my back. So that's why I didn't play pickleball tonight. Just talking about my workman's comp issue with Shields Park.
Hey, are you going to be able to get take them to the cleaners maybe? Or what are we talking here?
Well,
6 figures?
I went with the gentleman that runs it. The guy that cuts the lawn, Joe. And I tried picking up 2 cases of water, which in my youth, I would probably put them on my shoulders. And when my back popped, I almost went to my knees. I did text Joe later on that night. I'm like, wow, my back really hurts. I think we should talk. And he goes, that sucks. Lose my number. So
wow.
I stretched it out. I'm feeling great. Took the night off from pickleball, though, right? I mean, you can't, as an athlete, you don't want to jump back into something.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, you got it.
We'll be back.
And you're not getting any younger. So, those things take some time to heal.
True that. Yeah. Like weeks. I did lay around a lot on Monday, just protecting the moneymaker, my back.
Oh. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the only moneymaker that's left, Jeremy.
Well, I'm glad you clarified. I'm sure there were a lot of wondering people out there.
Yeah. I'll probably get some texts, some emails from some randoms.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, and then we finished off the high school season in conference play last week. Your Mighty Pirates won conference. Which
nice.
Was pretty exciting. First time since 2017.
Wow.
It's a long run.
So you guys didn't win last year. That's right. De Pere won, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
That's crazy.
And we finished 3rd or 4th last year. We got beat by Notre Dame. We got beat by De Pere.
Wow.
Sheboygan North. And there's one other team from the West, but we're not going to mention them. Paul lives there. So I don't even remember what happened. They probably cheated.
Probably.
So, yeah. So this year we went 8 or 9-0 in conference, whatever that number is. Had a successful season. And then we get to regionals, right? They raise the tournament flag. WIAA gets involved.
That's right.
And we saw it on the schedule. We saw it coming. Bayport versus Stevens Point.
Had to happen.
Right? You guys make the trek over to the big city.
Yep.
And I'll be honest. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I felt pretty confident. I'm like, you know what? I think this is a team we should beat.
You should have.
No kidding. So we have a group of parents that I'm going to take full credit for this. Well, Matt Sheedy also and Mike Schmidt. There's a couple of us. Beers for the win. We go beforehand. We go to a local establishment. We have a couple beers, talk soccer, go to the stadium. And ever since we started doing this, we really started winning. So we have now Bamers Bar, which we're looking for some support next year. And we went there last night. Everybody was loose, And then the 7 o'clock raced over the field, get into the vibe of the playoffs. Music's playing. Girls are warming up. I see you. Got to say hi to you. Yep. Saw number 30, your daughter out there stretching out. And I'm like, all right. We talked to some of the parents. We're like, contain 30 and you win this thing. That's it. Simple. Contain 30. Probably got a lot of really nice girls on our team. Some youth talent coming through. But I'm going to be honest, 30 is kind of the 30's it, right? A little back and forth. We have the ball. We're controlling it. And all of a sudden, 30 gets loose. And there she goes down the west side of the stadium, heading north. Put a bullet off her left foot, by the way. That was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
My issue is that was the angle I had to the goal. So as soon as she hit it, I'm like, oof, we're down 1-0. Like, here we go. And then the game plan starts, right? As Eric just said, the game plan was good. 5 defenders. It felt like you had 30 back there.
Well, to be fair, it was close.
I mean, there were white jerseys everywhere.
Yep.
They had the stat line at 32 shots to 2. Now,
Yep,
I don't know what your stat line
right.
was. Yeah?
Yeah,
So you made 50% of your shots. That's unheard of.
Well, you only take 2.
We had 16 corners.
Yeah, so something like that.
You know, we had the equalizer going into halftime.
Yeah, you guys got it.
It
was about 10 minutes after we scored. You guys scored and answered back to make it 1-1. You know, for those that didn't watch, the thing that was really frustrating for me as a SPASH coach was we were up 1-0. Amelia gets another breakaway down the east side, so the opposite side. She goes down, and I actually think her angle's better on this one. I'm feeling really good. I'm watching her go down. She's got a head of steam. She's kind of beat her girl, and she lets it loose, and I'm like, we're going up 2-0. Like, we're up 2-0. This is gonna be awesome. And she pushes it past the far post by about 6 inches, and I'm like, ugh. And literally less than a minute later, we concede the goal. And we go tied 1-1. That whole game flipped right there. That was the big switch. Because, man, I kind of felt like we had out on the ropes just a smidge. Like, when people were nervous, and we could have made them really nervous. Still might have lost, but it would have been more fun. But, yeah, that one hurt. When we didn't score that one, and then it went down and flipped. You guys answered the bell, and that was curtains.
We didn't, down 0-2. Would have been a nightmare because you guys did a great job. In my head, I'm like, you have number 23. She got a yellow card early.
Yeah, very
my
deserved.
personal thing is you start running at. Oh yeah, it was inches from inside the box. I mean, it was inches from a PK.
Correct, and it was very close to a dog so. Which, by the way, a dog so. I learned this watching some videos. Is apparently denied opportunity of a goal scoring. Denied. What is it? Oh, no, I screwed it up. Anyways, it's denied something goal scoring opportunity. Dog so or whatever. So yeah, she pretty much did that. She hit her from behind. Good call.
What happens in a nothing? As long as you're not in the box, you're good. I mean, can they award a PK if you're outside the box?
Not that I'm aware of, but if she's she could have got a red card if it's deemed a dog so. So basically, if she denies that's what it was. Denies an obvious goal scoring opportunity. If she does that, then she could have gotten red carded and sent off. And I don't think it was quite there, but it was definitely a yellow card.
Yeah. Do you think a high school ref calls that a red?
Well, no, I don't think so. Not in that situation because it wasn't extraordinarily dangerous. It wasn't like she dove cleats into her legs. I mean, she hit her from behind, knocked her down. Definitely a yellow. I don't think it was blatantly dangerous. And so I think that's what it would have needed to be a red. Or if she was completely out in front.
Yeah. Kind of like hockey, right? They get loose and you just take your stick and you sweep the legs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought she could have stood over our girl and shot the guns. Right? I thought that was a perfect opportunity, but your girls are super nice. Eric said they love to call clear path red card fouls. Okay.
Yeah.
So clear path to the goal, and then you come in and swipe them.
Yeah, because she had just beat Kira, and Kira kind of then knocks her down. Definitely, like I said, definitely deserving of a yellow. She was beat, she knew it, and she fouled her. So I mean, it was definitely on purpose.
See, my thought, I'd have came right back at her. As soon as she's, I mean, it's not basketball, I get that, but you kind of got to try to entice her into maybe a fight, because one more yellow and she's out, right?
You know what I just learned on that though too? There is a rule where you can get 3 yellows, and you can not get kicked out after the second. If this, I've been watching a bunch of reffing videos because I've been just kind of fascinated by it, and there's actually a situation where if you get a yellow for like arguing or dissent, that doesn't count as like kicking you off. So it is possible to get 3 yellows and then get kicked off.
So last night we'll get to this, but there was a massive upset in the Appleton North, Appleton West game where Appleton West knocked off North. But talking to our insider, Joe Schur, who cuts the lawns and runs the concessions, he said that one of the North girls, it was, I guess, a pretty blatant handball in the box, and the ref didn't call it. So a North girl argued. He said, that's enough with a yellow. She continues to go down that path, and he hits her with a red card.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
It must be like maybe 3 yellows. You have to do a couple different items, on the shopping list. But I don't know.
As I understand it, it's kind of up to the discretion of the ref. So basically, if there's a dissent, you're allowed to. The ref can keep them there with 2 yellows and not boot them. Is the way I understood it. So he must have had enough, or she said a magic word.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming she continued down the path and probably told him how lovely he looked. But that would be the first time I've ever heard that, right? Especially in high school ball. These kids are pretty, just, all right, you told me to zip it, I'm going to zip it. But, yeah, I guess she continued. So
I did have one of our SPASH players on boys soccer this fall, said a magic word and got a red almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just that he said a magic word. He said a magic word about the ref, basically, and that was instantaneous and deservedly so. To his credit, he did actually reach out to the refs and apologize via written letter, unbeknownst to the coaches. Like, he just took it on himself. So he kind of lost his cool, but he made up for it by apologizing. So, which we found out after the fact, which was pretty cool. But yeah, he did.
I think that's
he did say magic word. Yeah.
So I got to tell you, I was down at the fields because our soccer club hosted the state cup first round, and I was down there on Saturday, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I was down there both days. So I'm riding with the cart with Coach Sean, because pretending to work, right? Looking busy, and we pull up to a boys game, and the Madison team scores. The whole bench runs down to the side, like the corner. The team that's out on the field comes over and they're celebrating. And the middle, so there's 4 refs at State Cup, right? There's the middle, the 2 ARs, and then the sideline guy.
Oh, that's right.
And the sideline guy was like tentatively watching, and he noticed one of the bench players stepped on the field. So they issued a yellow card to that guy. And I'm like, okay, I'm not paying attention, why he did it, but I'm like, let's let the boys be boys. You know who it was? It was the same guy that asked me if I wanted to watch from the parking lot. And I'm like, you son of a gun. I will take you to Chinatown right now. We are going to fight. And then 2 seconds later, the other team's coach was screaming because they didn't get a call. He got a yellow card. I watched some boys soccer this week. It is a different, fun game. They do not care.
Oh, it's very different. Very different. Paul is correct. He has definitely heard some language on the. I don't think the language is necessarily immediate yellow carded. It's if it's directed towards a ref. If it's directed towards a ref, then it becomes very problematic. But yes, there is some colorful language, that is for sure. As long as it's not directed at a ref or about a call or something, I think they usually let it slide.
What if I do this? What if for Kansas City, I order us a yellow and a red? I'm yellow, you're red. And if we get in trouble or the ref does something bad or somebody else, I hit him with the yellow, bam, you hit him with the red. We'll be heroes. How great would that be? The ref screaming at me and I'm like, sir. and then you come left-handed with the red, point at the parking lot.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what would happen if that happened.
I think you'd be stunned into just laughing.
That would be,
I think he would laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as they didn't like cancel the game or something and like kick us all out, then I think it'd be pretty funny. But can you imagine if we had the game like canceled?
Our whole trip to Kansas City. Hey, Paul makes up a great question. I'll let you read it.
He just says, what if they yell, "Get out of the way, fat A," when I'm taking photos? Yeah. I don't know how
they
would
yell at
respond
Paul.
Man, I mean,
if Paul had a yellow card in his pocket, he'd hit him with a yellow card.
That's right. That's rude. They better not say that. That's very rude.
At least not your face, Paul.
That's right. Hey, what happened to Eric's questions? Where'd they go? They like vanished. So, do we have sensors that I don't know about? That's weird. Anyways,
hey,
thanks for the questions.
See that
Eric.
you can bring them on the video? So you just I don't know how that works.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah. I can believe corners got to be one of the hardest ones to shoot because you're trying to get an angle and you're like in the way. They're in the way. That's got to be a tough one for a photographer.
Yeah. Wow.
I got to believe it.
Have you seen his photos? He shot them.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, he was at the Bay Port. He wasn't there last night.
Yeah.
Like, that's playoffs. I found
like he's got a daughter
doing.
Playing or something. I mean, come on.
What, that practice?
Jeez.
It's practice. We talk about games.
No, I respect the heck out of people who take good pictures because I take a lot for yearbook and I'm just not good at it. I just don't frame it well. I don't know. So people who can do it really well, I'm always impressed with. Sarah's really good at it. I can't do it. Mine just look like some, random person just started pushing a camera button. I don't know. I can't do it.
Well, let's be honest. We have 65,000 pictures on our phone that we think are important. We're never going to do anything with.
Yeah, that's probably true. Though, to be fair, I don't take a lot with my phone. Though I did take a picture of Macy and Amelia last night. I probably should text that over to you.
Can we post it on the Facebook? Let everybody know?
I always forget about that. But yes, we can. I can do that.
Why don't you let Sarah do that? She's probably pretty good at that.
She is pretty good at it. That's a good call.
It ain't going to get to me.
She always makes the posts. I don't make the posts. Yeah, good call. Yeah.
So back to the game. Bayport goes on to win 2-1 in a very hard fought game.
Yep.
Great to see you. Great to see Amelia. Our sideline, like our parents' sideline, was like, okay, like the whole time they're like, by the end of the game, they're like 30 can't go anywhere. Get in her pocket, and then one of the dads is like, well, doesn't she play with Macy? And we're like, she does. And then we were talking about, they're like, well, the Appleton East girls play with you guys. I said, we're going to run into our goalie on Saturday. And they're like, how good is your team? And I'm like, well, we're pretty good, right? I mean, we've 3 out of 4 state champs. So it's really fun to see that age group really, really doing well.
No, it is. And I mean, we've had a lot of success as our girls teams have. It's a bummer to see a couple of them lose. It's kind of inevitable because it's going to happen. But the thing that I was, I was thinking about too with like Appleton East got beat. It's like, man, it just shows you too how important our girls were, because just like if Amelia was down for our team, we'd have a lot of struggles. The Addie unfortunately got hurt and their team hasn't been the same. Marley's been doing a good job, but they're not quite the same. We have a lot of really dynamic girls. If Macy was not there, Bayport would struggle right in the middle. And actually, I thought I was scared going into that game last night, knowing what we were going to do, that Macy was going to start dropping bombs from like the 25-yard line, because that is exactly what we didn't need, to beat the way we packed it in, because that was our goal, just make the middle as chaotic as possible. We didn't need somebody dropping from 25. She started to do it late in the game, and I'm like, dang it, she figured it out. Because that is the kryptonite for it.
They moved her to the 6 to trail to do that. The problem is,
correct.
Our girls at Bayport, we struggled to turn and realize the pass is backwards, and we're always trying to go forward because she's like, the coach was literally yelling at me, like, just start shooting. And
yes,
it would have been fun. But,
yeah, and she did, and I thought she was going to get one. Honestly, she was really close a couple times. She's got such a great leg. But back to the point of, like, these girls are really integral to a lot of these teams. You look at Kimberly, Appleton West, you look at East, SPASH, Bayport. I mean, we're right. We do have a good team. And the crazy thing about our girls, they're only 15 or 16. You start getting them to be 17, 18-year-old girls, and they all come. I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, and what's fun now is I really enjoyed high school. Like, people talk, we were on the text machine last night. There's talk now of club eking into high school. And me and you were very adamant. I mean, from my text, what I took of yours is there's no way, right? It's high school, then club, then high school. And I think there's a point for club for some to run, but I would not have Macy miss a high school season for the world.
Yeah, here's where I think club could actually be really beneficial in that situation is, like, for example, over by you guys, if I remember correctly, you said how many girls tried out for Bayport?
Like 50?
50, and didn't you end up cutting like
crazy number?
Yeah. Didn't you end up cutting like 10 or something like that? To
15,
me, that's where club is perfect, because in the high school season, club can take those girls. They gives them a chance to play. They didn't make the team. If they want to better themselves, like like a Michael Jordan who got cut from his high school team and then came back and was like the best, that's a great opportunity for them to go back, get in some touches, get in some minutes, be able to be on that team, and it creates this really cool dynamic where you get a lot of really good players. SPASH doesn't have that issue. Unfortunately, we don't have girls to cut, so it is what it is. But for teams that have that, I think it could create an opportunity to play in that season when you got cut off the high school team, with the possibility of then playing for your high school team down the road. So if you chose to, so I don't know. I think that's where it could be a nice blend.
Yeah. I think you'll get some boys team. I know there's one talk of one of our boys teams in our clubs that they're not going to play high school. I think it's easy to say when you're in 7th grade, 8th grade, but when the rubber meets the road, there's always a few that are like, I'd rather just go play high school, and then the dynamic of the team changes. So, my wife just said, yeah, and she did. She was in my ear yesterday. Meals is going to giddy up, and we're in for a dog fight. And I gave her the old, I don't think so. But she reminded me last night that she was right. So,
that's a rough one when you get that reminder.
Right?
The wife reminder. Those are painful. But no, that's appreciated. It was fun to watch. We knew it was going to be a tough game. The only chance we had was to try to slow down Bayport as much as possible and just make life difficult. So that was about the only thing we had going for us. But it was a fun game, and we're really rooting for you to go on, have a lot of success like last year. That'd be good.
Well, we welcome you aboard the Pirate bandwagon. We appreciate that.
That's right.
But getting around the league, right? Quick one by yours. Wisconsin Rapids knocking off Wausau West.
Yeah, which that was kind of out of the blue, kind of really surprising. Apparently, there's a little controversy. This is what I hear through the grapevine, is in that Wausau West field was not able to be played on. I don't know why. We weren't able to play on it when we went up there because of the rain or something. They have turf, but I don't know. Something happened. Turf. They couldn't use the field. Yeah, they couldn't use the field. So for whatever reason, they ended up having to play it. They couldn't agree on a neutral site, so they ended up having to play in Rapids. Because the rule is, if you can't play at the time that the WIAA says, both teams have to agree on the location and the date and time. And if you can't agree on that, then it goes to the away site. And so it ended up getting forced down to Rapids, as I understand it. This is all hearsay, so completely speaking hypothetically here. So apparently they weren't super happy going in, and then they got upset. I'm sure that does not add to the conference.
That ride home must have been brutal.
Well, what's brutal tonight is the all conference meeting that's happening. That's probably not going really well.
Does that statewide, like everybody meets tonight?
I don't know if it's statewide, but we're meeting tonight, and so I'm sure that there is some frustration probably. if that story is true, which I don't know, but if it's true,
well,
I heard that from a player. So.
Speaking of controversy, I was told the De Pere Preble game was at De Pere, and Preble went up 1-0. De Pere tied it with 22 seconds left in the East De Pere. Sorry. Okay. For those at home, it is on the east side of the river, East De Pere. Thank you.
Yes.
22 seconds left. PK awarded.
Oh.
1-2 to 1. East De Pere won 2-1 on a PK with 22 seconds left.
Ouch.
Personally, if I'm East De Pere, I'd have been like, you know what? It's been a really good game. Let's just go to extra innings and we'll do some extra PKs. You imagine that bus ride back to Preble?
Ouch. So, and now
you gotta
I will say this.
That was blatant, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'd have to see the play. If it was really blatant, you got to make the call. But if it's like one of those,
I'm with that.
We actually had a referee come over to us and talk to us because one of their teams, I won't say which team, we were playing a team and they were complaining about there should have been a foul in the box. And after the game, the ref came over and he's like, yeah, they were pretty upset about not getting a foul there. He said, but here's where I look at it. He said, if you're in the corner, which they were, the corner of the 18, like way up in the corner, he's like, unless it's a really egregious foul, he's like, I'm not going to give you a PK because you're just barely inside the corner of the line. He's like, that's not fair. And he's like, it wasn't a hard, I didn't even think it was a foul. The girl kind of fell down, but that's not a foul. And he's like, it better be really good at that portion of the box to award a PK because she wasn't even about to score. She didn't even get a shot off. She just kind of went down. He's like, that's got to be a really egregious foul. And I totally agree. I hate to see when there's really ticky-tacky fouls inside the box when they weren't even really about to score. I mean, if it's egregious, for sure. If they full-fledged take them down, tackle them, whatever. But, if a girl goes down or a guy goes down, just because they go down doesn't mean it's a foul. And that's one of the things I get frustrated with fans sometimes. Every time a girl goes down or a guy goes down, everybody freaks out. It's like, it's not always a foul. Sometimes it's just the way that it is.
Well, it's not a foul on Bay Port. I mean, it's a foul on them.
Yeah, the one.
I agree 100% with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if PKs should be very out of the blue, what about a handball just inside the box? I guess it depends on what it is. So, and I don't know what handballs are anymore because I've seen more handballs in high school that aren't called.
It's unreal. It's unreal the amount that aren't called. But I will say this: if it's outside the framework of the body and it hits the hand in the box, it should be a call. That, like, bar none. Because if you're making yourself bigger and you end up the ball hits it, even if it's ball to hand, it should be called. Because the whole point is you're not supposed to increase your body size to create more defense. But if it's like this, you're at your sides, the hands are at your sides or the hands are up here, like they supposedly allow now, up like this, tight to your body, not a handball.
Yeah, and if you're protecting the teeth, I'm fine with
that.
But so we were talking, like on our PK, not our PK, but on our penalty, right outside the box, right? That's an impossible shot. You're not going to be able to get it up and down. Can you just kick it as hard as you can at the other team?
Sure.
I mean, and pray to God they touch it with their hand, right? I mean, isn't that a better move than trying to?
I actually think teams need to work around the wall more now. Like, just do a quick pass and have somebody over there and pop it. But, that's hard. You got to practice that.
They all try to kick it. Yeah. It's impossible. You can't go, like, we're like, no.
It's too hard. Honestly, those are really tough shots to be able to go up and down like that. There's a lot of technique. You'd have to get really lucky, basically, to make that work.
Well, my thought last night, too, when Amelia hit the 40-yard line and it was one-on-one, I'm like, foul her. Take her to the ground. If you get a yellow card, he wasn't going to give you a red card. And he wasn't going to give a free run at the goal, right?
Right. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I play defense, because I'm slow, and it's best I tackle you.
I mean, basically what you said is what our girl did. We didn't tell her to do that, but she just did it. I mean, she got beat and she just pushed her down. So, I mean, sometimes that is. I mean, honest to God, we did not tell her to do that, but she just did it, and I'm like, okay, well, you got to come off the field now because she got the yellow, and it is what it is.
Yeah, no goal, move on. Great job.
Yep. Yeah. So, anyways,
my daughter, Macy did send me. Somebody sent her the clip of her when she stepped on the ball and landed. It looks like the ref took the ball away from her. It's kind of funny. But yeah, she hit the ground. You see, she's got cherries on her arm. She's got a big cherry on her leg.
Dude, that scared me so bad. Honest to God, when that happened, we all were like, because you hear this pop, and she stepped on the ball, and I think it was either the ball popping or her legs hitting together, and I thought she broke her leg. I thought she blew her knee out. You don't hear a pop like that. That pop, and I'm like, oh my God. And then she laid there, and I thought, oh my God.
I know.
I was so happy to see her stand up and be laughing. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. I just saw everything going right, Kansas City, and just like,
yeah. So,
but
anyways,
no.
Yeah. So other games.
So,
let's see. Appleton North lost to West. That was a crazy game. That big upset. So you guys got to play West, and then De Pere. You said won, correct? East De Pere.
Yeah. Be Preble.
Yeah, the other one over here was the Rapids game. Everest won. Marshfield won. Yeah, so from our conference, that's kind of what kind of happened. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there were any. Appleton East lost.
Do you remember any of these major upsets? Last year. I don't remember any. There was pretty good divide between 1 and 8, 2 and 7. I mean, Rapids was a 7 seed beating up on a 2. Well, we were a 2 seed last night, sneaking out with a win against, you guys were a 7.
Yeah, it was something
3
weird yesterday.
6.
Spash's softball team, which is number 3 in the state, got upset last night too. It was just like, I don't know. It was a night for upsets. Like something was in the air, and I don't know what happened, but there was a lot of upsets last night.
So as Spash softball, they're done.
They're done. Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, that one hurt.
That
one hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
They ran into a good team, but I mean, I thought they were going to win. I thought they had a good chance at state, honestly, but in the sectional semis they got bounced. So
yeah,
bummer.
That stings. So yeah, and then Kimberly won.
Yes, they did. They beat Kaukauna 4-0.
At Kaukauna, They had to move that game.
They did.
Because Kimberly's grass field was too wet.
Holy buckets.
Yeah, evidently not a good drainage system. Not
all
good,
that money.
Kimberly.
No drain tile.
I bet you the football stadium has drain tile.
So why don't they play at Garrett Field?
I know they play a lot of games at Garrett Field, but their soccer stadium's really nice.
Okay.
Because it's strictly for soccer. They got the benches are nice, the stands are nice, there's parking. So it is a really nice facility. I'll give them that.
Kaukauna is awesome. I was floored when I went to Kaukauna. So Paul is dead on there when he says it's the best stadium around. It is a soccer turf specifically just for soccer, and it is a gorgeous setup. We were really impressed when we went to Kaukauna. I was like, man, must be nice.
Yeah, we were supposed to play there the first game of the year, but they canceled, and then that snowfall killed everything. So we didn't get to play them. Paul said that. That's like the third. He said that before. That Kaukauna is a real deal.
It is a nice stadium. I was very, very impressed, and the turf is different. So when you go to Bayport or Gerke, or you come over and play on our turf fields, it's a different type of turf. It's it's that football turf. It's a little longer, and Kaukana's is a nice, short, tight turf. It's really it feels more like a soccer pitch than it does a football field. When we go to Marshfield's got. You go to one area of the field, the turf is this long, right? It's and then you go to another, and it's this long, and it's all over the board. It's constantly shifting because it's a football stadium, right? The turf is different on the sidelines than it is in the playing surface. Whereas this field it's really nice. I was impressed with Kaukauna. I wouldn't mind having their stadium.
Yeah. So, St. Croix has the turf in the dome. That is a nice dome, by the way. The St. Croix. That's that.
Is it?
We did that showcase there last year. Really nice facility.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Hockey rink in a soccer stadium. But
nice.
Max brings up by the way, coach of your mighty Bayport lacrosse team who moved on last night, won their first round of the playoffs. So they
nice.
Little podcast love to them. They have a tough one against Homestead, I think, tomorrow night. So they're gonna have to get after it. But so we had boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and varsity soccer all scheduled last night.
And baseball was there too, right?
And baseball was there too. So
it was hopping.
Boys played at 4:30 lacrosse. I think they moved the girls team to Notre Dame, and then we played at 7:30. So yeah, there was a lot of moving parts.
There was. Yep. No, it was good. It was a hopping place there last night. Bayport's winning life right now.
On the campus of love.
Hey, I do want to take a quick moment. This is a little bit more somber note. Speaking of lacrosse, I don't know if Max heard this, but DC Everest had a coach die in a car accident over the weekend, 24 years old. I don't know what the situation was, but he got in a car accident, passed away. I just feel for the Wausau team up there. He was one of their coaches, and it's a really unfortunate, sad situation. I mean, somebody just much too young. Sounds like the players really liked him. It's just terrible. So hearts, prayers and thoughts out to his family and his friends and that Everest community, because that just really unfortunate to see something like that happen. And kind of 2 years in a row now, Everest getting snake bit around this time of year. They had 2 students die in a car crash last year, right about this time. So it just definitely thoughts go out to Everest. It's a really just sad situation, and hopefully they can rally in his memory. But just a real bummer, something you never want to see in youth sports.
Oh, not 24. God, the pup.
Yeah, unreal.
That's horrible. That's really horrible, man.
Yeah. So anyways, I know we're typically more upbeat here, but I want to give a shout out to them as a really, in the youth sports world, really sad occurrence. So transition after that.
trying to walk away from that kindly. Very sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So but getting away from the high school season, you took your daughter on a trip. Not the Grand Canyon trip with the family.
Mm-hmm.
A trip for your first ID camp. Like real ID camp.
And I can't remember if we talked about this or not.
I know we didn't talk about the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I will say this, it was really eye-opening to kind of go to our first one. I'm trying to put a quick synopsis on this, but it was great to see the campus. It was great to see all of the things that the Air Force has to offer. I sent you some pictures about their weight room and about their facilities. I mean, they have things that I think some of the schools don't even have, just because they kind of have government, military money. And so they're doing all kinds of research on like breathing, and you wear all these apparatuses, and they have psychologists on staff, and, all these things that you're just like, man, some of these like cryo chambers and all this stuff that they have, that's pretty cool. It was really eye-opening to see a Division I level. I know they have some of those things at like the Ohio States and the big schools, but they actually had some stuff there that the Air Force said, I think they have the largest weight room in the country for when it comes to colleges. They told us some of the resources they have are not in Division I schools, just because, it's military grade type stuff. So they don't have the same access to it. So that part of it was really cool. I think it was really good for Amelia to see the intensity level. Everybody who shows up there is talented and really good. And I know people who've done camps know this as well. I just think that was really good for her to see. And I thought, personally, she did well. I don't think she was her best, but I thought she did pretty well there. She had some really nice plays. She had some moments where she could have been better for sure. But I thought she represented herself well. We'll see if that leads to anything where, somebody reaches out. They can't, they said right there at the meeting, after it was done, like, don't even try to talk to us. We can't talk to you if you're a sophomore. We did get to see a girl offered, which was really cool. She was a junior, and she had a really nice camp. She looked, I was telling one of the dads there, I'm like, she looks really good. And then afterwards, they actually pulled her aside and talked to her and offered her right there, which I thought was really cool. She like ran away screaming and she was all excited. So it was really cool from that perspective. The Air Force really a different type of school when you think about academics, very high academic standards to get into the Air Force. And so that it's a little unnerving, just because, Amelia's good at school, but she's not like amazing at school. When I see some of these other girls, like they're all 4.1s, 4.2s, and, Amelia's like a 3.8, which is leagues better than I ever was, but it's just not maybe at the same par. And that's kind of like the baseline for Air Force was like that 3.8 area. So, I think it was really good for her to see what the expectations are academically and then athletically. Like, it's all people like Amelia and Macy there. You don't have girls that are way below. They're all really, really good. And so it was that part of it was really cool. And I think it was eye opening for her to see, like, your game's got to be, right up top to be there. So overall, really enjoyed it. She loved the campus, beautiful mountains in the background. And the facilities were top notch. Would love to explore that more, but we'll see what happens. Who knows if we'll even draw any interest.
Do you consider going back again to a camp, or are you looking for interest to go back? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how this works, right? I've never moving forward.
I don't either. I honestly, I think if there was interest, we would definitely go back. Even if we thought that there might be a possibility, we would go back. And I think it's a fair question as an athlete to ask, for those of you looking at going, after the June 15th, they can communicate with you. And I think it's fair to ask, like, hey, I'm interested in your school. Do you have any interest in me? And I think there's nothing wrong with asking that, because at least you get an answer and they say, yeah, no, sorry, we're moving on. Or, yeah, maybe there'd be interest. I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you're not sure. And I think it would be fair to ask if we don't get an answer or a feeling either way, for her to ask that question.
Yeah, no, and they say you should ask, right? Because they're going to be late and they're not going to waste their time.
Right.
I asked some colleges back in my day if I could even go there. Most said no. I'm going to be honest. Most are like, no, we don't want your kind. But it just took one. So, but that's exciting that you pulled the trigger, right? Because we're in the boat where you're looking at camps, and Macy has some ideas maybe down in Florida or some. Yeah. She would like to go a little farther, and it's like, well, where do you spend your dollar?
Right.
Because there's only so many dollars, so you got to kind of figure out how to put them and where to put them.
Theoretically. Hey, I wanted to ask you, wasn't Macy interested in Tampa, the University of Tampa?
There's University of Tampa and then St. Leo, both in that same area.
Okay. Because Amelia reached out to University of Tampa and she got a response back about their camp, the typical like, hey, why don't you come to our camp? But yeah, she reached out to there as well. So that'd be interesting if they both were interested in the same school.
We went there when we were in Tampa.
Okay.
It is nothing like where I went to college. I mean, the place there was beach volleyball, there was lacrosse, there was a pool, just a swimming pool on campus. Like you could run, like swim laps. Looks like there was like a bar attached to it. So that's probably where I would have been. But the camp, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Downtown Tampa, Division II.
Yes.
And St. Leo's just up the road, about a half hour. So we did not make it to St. Leo. Macy had been reaching out with her coach and just giving her him the times of the games.
Okay.
He did not go. He went to the ECNL showcase.
We're
working on
what
that.
A guy.
Go ahead. Boop you. No. Just kidding. If he's interested. But you send the tapes and they send you the form letter, right? Can't talk to you, but here's our camp info. Yeah. So it'll be fun in 3 weeks. It's coming quick, or 2 weeks almost.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be here before we know it. And I prepped Amelia for this too. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I would like to get somebody on the show. And how does it happen? Like in my head, you're going to hit the inbox and it's going to be like, but it ain't going to happen that way. I know that.
No.
So if you get one, is that a good thing? If you get nothing for the first week, is that a bad thing? Like what's good and bad?
I see. That's what I'm curious about too. And I'm trying to prep Emilio. That's what I was going to say. It's like, I just don't know what to expect, because just because you don't hear anything doesn't mean that it's all bad. And just because if you get two people reaching out the day of, doesn't mean it's all good either, right? It's just, they might just be the first movers. So I don't know. I don't even know what to expect for her. Honestly, I've just prepped her for, hey, just expect you probably won't hear anything for the first week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. At some point, somebody's going to reach out. I mean, I don't know if you're still doing the NCSA thing. I don't pay for it at all. I just don't see the need. I think you can do what you need to do without it. But she still does have the free account, and she gets new new coaches following like every week. And it's, so I think there'll be something, just an exploratory email or text or something along those lines. But who knows? I don't know what to expect. I've never done this before.
Yeah. I mean, I got a letter from River Falls to play baseball. So did the whole team. Disappointing.
Right. It is disappointing.
But I think you're right, though, because I know D3 schools, like Macy got D3 reached out because they can reach. Yeah. I don't think they've by the same law. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. Like you said, I think I'm more giddy up for it, paying attention, but it is what it is. Yeah. It'll happen. They're still sophomores. When I say we, right. But they are still sophomores.
I'll be glad when it moves past the, hey, we can't talk to you. Like, just tell me yes or no. I don't understand why they can't just say, whatever. If you're in high school, they can say yes or no. Like, yeah, we're interested in you, or no, we're not interested in you. Like this, well, I can't talk to you right now. I'll talk to you in 3 weeks. It's like, I don't know. I just don't like that.
Well, basketball, they can sign her. Like they're like, oh, this freshman signed already, and I'm like, how was it not all under the same sanction?
Yeah, I don't get that either, because
I've had Go ahead.
He said what?
Oh, Max said D1 schools start their contract and movement right away.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. It would be fun.
You want to show that interest before somebody else does. Yeah.
It's all about NIL money, right? I mean, is that what we're really looking at here?
Yeah, maybe some, but I mean, if you're the best division, you want to get the best players. You're not going to wait and let somebody else come in and talk to your best player, like whoever your top prospect is. You're not going to let, if I'm Wisconsin, I'm not going to let Iowa come in and talk to them or whoever, right? You're gonna move right away, because you want to make sure that you get in there and find out what that you want them right off the bat.
And I know I mentioned it before, but the book Looking for a Full Ride.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Renee Lopez, she won't come on our show. We don't have enough episodes, which I'm going to reach back out because that's junk. But that walks you through the NCSA, and it literally tells you don't do the NCSA. Now, I don't know if it's good or bad. Macy has the free account also. But I do know that it tells you how to email, how to talk, what questions to ask, and it's pretty fascinating because you do kind of go after it, right? You just say, what do you think? You don't, where do I sit?
Yeah. Well, here's where I look at NCSA. As long as you're not paying for it, there's nothing wrong with putting your name into a SEO search engine that if somebody types in Macy Brasto, that's one of the first things that pops up. If they type in Amelia Kasselberg, it's one of the first things that pops up. And it does still give them, I think there's like 5 or 6 videos you can put on there. There's information about yourself, your GPA, your weight, all those things. Those are all valuable type items that you can get for free. Why wouldn't you do it? I mean, it's not hurting 100%. You. But I definitely don't think you should be paying whatever it is, $3,000 or something for them to be able to send out emails on your behalf that probably don't even get read because they look at it from NCSA and they're just like, whatever. I think it makes a lot more sense to send those emails yourself, to show initiative, to actually put yourself out there and write the email and send the video. And I just think that looks better than, hiring somebody for a few grand to do it for you and make your videos, which, by the way, some of the videos they make, I don't know if you ever bounced around NCSA. Some of them are really bad. They're not
really
good. Yeah, so I would much rather produce my own video or help her produce her video than to hire somebody else. I don't know. I know it's time, but you can do just as good a job on your own.
The only thing I cut film. I mean, I don't cut film, but I'll go back and record it to a clip. And I love doing that because I'm always sending her stuff. I'm like, "This is a really nice pass," and she's like, "Okay, that's enough. That's a lot."
So the last thing I'll say on that is I do all the film for SPASH. Like I break down every pass, every shot, everything. It gets old after a while.
What?
For every player, man, I break them all down, and it's like there's times where I just get tired of it. But it is interesting to watch. I will say that you learn a lot of, and you start to see like, oh, that was a good play, or you see things now that I like a year ago I'd have been like, oh, that was a really good play, and now I look at them like, yeah, that's pretty average. You see it all the time. So, yeah. But anyways, well, hey, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about Toby.
Yeah. How great is that? How great is his name is Toby? What the hell? So if you go on Twitter, go online and type in Kansas high school announcer hot mic.
Yeah.
And this guy gets caught on a hot mic talking about how bad the game is, right? I mean, like he's like, this is terrible soccer. And then he starts rating the moms, which I've never done.
Not a good move. Don't do that.
Not in public, but it is hilarious. And then to find out the guy's name is Toby, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? There's only so many of us. We don't need that kind of heat. Like
we don't.
But
the funniest part about the whole thing, I watched the 4-minute video or whatever it was. You sent it to me, and I'd heard about it earlier that day. But the funniest part to me is right at the end, they're like, well, it's a good thing our mic's not on because we'd never say any of this on the record. There's no way we'd say this stuff because this could get you fired. And then it's like, yeah, it will. So, anyways, I feel for him, but yeah.
Even locally, one of the dads on our soccer team, part of the lacrosse, or his son played lacrosse, and he helps with it. But he said that there was some complaints that the announcer was announcing the other team without the same enthusiasm or something like that of the home team. Or they made some comments like, I guess one of them was like something like, this ain't baseball, this is lacrosse, like kind of get up and get tough kind of deal. Well, of course it echoes through the baseball stadium. It was a dad, right? Like just having fun. And I'm like, come on, people, that's funny. That's good stuff.
That is funny. That is good stuff.
But I guess WIAA rules say you have to enthusiastically announce both teams the same.
Yes, in the playoffs they do. Like, so for example, like I think of our basketball guy when he calls a three, he's like, really enthusiastic, calls the three, and then when the other team hits it, it's like 3-point basket. It's like there's no energy. But in the playoffs, there's very explicit rules that you have to have the same energy for both teams. You can't have the announcer being really high on one and then kind of just blasé on the other. So yeah, there are rules around that you have to abide by in the playoffs. The other one is that you're not allowed to live stream unless you have paid a fee, which I always think is kind of interesting. And I saw a number of fans live streaming. Technically, that's not allowed. They could get in trouble for that, but I'm guessing nobody's watching, like in the stands for people recording, because that is not allowed.
So the Bay Port game was streamed last night.
Yes, and it's allowed as long as you paid. I understand there's a playoff fee. You have to pay a certain fee to be able to live stream. Yeah, and they have done that.
Bayport would have paid that. Yeah,
hey, but
they got coin. Because last year the De Pere Bayport sectional game broadcast by the Voice of Bayport, and it was paid for by, I don't know if they split it or whatever, however that worked. But then our sectional final game in Rapids was not. Nobody paid for it.
Correct. Yeah.
How much is it?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I want to say it's like $300 or $400. It's something like that. I don't think it's crazy, but it's enough that it's like, most people want to be able to, if they're going to stream it, they want to be able to have some type of advertising to come in and then, back it up. So you're not just going to pay it just to stream it for fun. Unless you're really wealthy.
I would pay it. if we could announce it.
There you go.
Yeah. I bet you we could get a listener to pay for it. We announced it. No rules, though. I don't want to be like enthusiastic about everybody either. That's crap.
That I don't know about. But if it's a neutral team, if it's two neutral teams, you're like, who cares? You're going to be enthusiastic about whatever you see. So,
God,
and that level may go up depending on the level. I would assume if it's like the semifinal or at state, they probably charge you a heck of a lot more. Yeah, that would be my guess.
Well, I know the state finals are broadcast on TV because I watched them last year.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they wouldn't even let you there. So, yeah.
Yeah. We were one step away. We didn't make it to the finals. But I did watch them. Yeah. They were nice. I rooted for no one. So, but that was a very great hot mic. You don't get a lot of those.
Oh, it was. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it is definitely funny. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think what he said was so like off the wall, but I mean, I could see where it's not appropriate for that broadcast for sure. But I've heard much worse in locker rooms. Let's say much worse.
They didn't get. I wonder if they shouldn't have got fired. I mean,
he did. He got fired.
Oh, he did get fired.
Oh yeah.
Was it Catholic school?
No, it's NHSF or whatever. Or that's the one that runs all the high school sports. They write the rule books for like all the. I mean, so they're not going to allow that. I mean, I wasn't surprised he got fired.
I thought maybe it was just like a dad or two dads up there.
No, he's a professional.
Oh, wow. So are they professionals like we're professionals, or are they professionals?
Probably like paid professional.
Okay, well then we're not that.
We are not. So yeah.
So no, but check it out. That was hilarious. I didn't post it. I don't even know how to post it, but that's okay. You can find it out there.
Yeah. Oh, it's all over. So.
But as we wind down, we got some big news next week. We're going to be next Wednesday night, 8:00, for the head coach of your Northern Michigan Wildcats women's soccer program.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Sandoval. I am excited for this one. I have been back and forth with him on the old email machine, and he's a busy man. He runs the club up there. He also had a very successful season. He's on vacation this week, but I reached out this weekend, and he's like, absolutely, would love to. So if you have any questions for the coach on the city, the college, get them in.
Yeah, definitely. And here's where we can answer some of these questions like we have about recruiting. Like, what do you expect? What happens? Like Max said, big fish eat first. But I definitely think that we could clear up a few things about the recruiting process that he'd be able to give, because he's going to be able to tell us what that landscape looks like specifically for girls soccer. So,
well, and that's my thing. What is a big fish for our girls? I mean,
right. I have no idea.
Let's be honest. It's not North Carolina.
It might be.
You know what I'm saying?
It might be Division III. I have no idea. I really don't know what it is.
So next Wednesday night, 8:00, the head coach of your Fighting Northern Michigan Wild. I'm fired up. I might drive up and have it in person.
Wow, that'd be something.
From the Third Base Bar, my favorite bar. Who should sponsor the show if you're listening? I don't think they are.
Holy buckets! In person would be something. I can't do that, but that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I like it. Hey, if we ever want to take this on the road, we could. I mean, all this stuff's mobile. I can move all of it. It's a laptop. I mean, let's go.
We should take it to Kansas City. This is a write-off.
It is. We can now write this off. This is a business expense.
We get the University of Kansas City, if there is such a thing.
Well, there's Lawrence, Kansas.
My buddy played football there.
There you go.
Probably knows somebody. Done. On it.
Let's do it.
So
yeah, we'll have a live show. That would be fun. That'd be a good time.
Bob, excellent. Well, we're at our time limit here, but looking forward to next week. You enjoy the weekend. No sports. I mean, you got running.
Not for me, but you. No, nothing. But you guys have a game Saturday?
Saturday, 7 p.m. at the University of Bay Port. We play Appleton West.
All right, awesome.
West. So we'll see Kata, which is exciting. Say hi to her. And we will see you in club here pretty quick. Whether it's 1 week or 2 weeks, we'll be back together again in the club season.
Sounds good. Hey, watch out for number 20, Knable. She's really good. She likes to shoot from 18 to 25 yards, and she's got a rip. So,
Knable. I've heard that name.
Yep. She's good.
Right.
She's a good player. She's pretty quick, and she's got a cannon for a leg. So,
number 20 on it.
Yep. All
right. Well, we will be in touch. We'll text you throughout the week, and we'll see everybody next Wednesday night.
Sounds good. See ya.
I bet.